Have you ever been in an interview and just thought to yourself, that is an incredibly awkward question you just asked me? The answer is probably yes. We've all been there. In today's video, I want to talk about 4 of the most awkward questions you are frequently asked in interviews, and I'm going to tell you how to answer them from a recruiter's perspective. Let's go. The first awkward question is, why are you looking for a new job? And this is super awkward if you don't have a job, because it's like, I don't know, because I'd like to have money and I'd like to eat. I've grown quite accustomed to living. That's an awkward question. But it's also awkward if you're currently working, right? Because you can't say something along the lines of, well, my manager is terrible and the culture I have is absolute trash. You can't say that. If you say that in an interview, you won't get the job. The thing about this question is what they're trying to do is get an idea as to why they are talking to you. But along the way, it's one of those things where they're trying to see, okay, are they going to say something negative? Are they going to trash talk their current employer? And the reason they do that is because employers have this belief that if you say something negative about your current employer in the interview, that you are probably part of the problem. So they're looking for you to say something positive. The key to answering this question truly is just focus less on what you're leaving and focus more on what you're moving towards. So I like saying something along the lines of, I'm not actually looking, I'm pretty happy where I'm currently at, but I happen to find this job posting on LinkedIn. It came up on my feed and I was just really interested in it. So I took a look at the job description and I thought it was really, really intriguing. Specifically, I'm interested in doing A, B, and C. And what you've done there is you've made it more about what you're moving towards, not about what you're moving from. You've stated that you are happy in your current role and you're not really looking, but you're open to the right opportunity, which is good for establishing leverage. That's how you handle that question. By the way, if you're finding value in this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. It is free, it tells YouTube I don't suck, it motivates me to make more videos, and it really helps the channel. Additionally, if you're willing to do that, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you never miss one of my 3 free weekly videos that are all designed to help you nail your next interview and land your dream job. The next awkward question is, why did you leave blank job? Usually it's about your most recent job that you left or one that you left in the future. Sometimes they ask this if you have a shorter stint, right? Like if you look at your resume and they're 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, and there's one that's like 9 months, they're gonna ask you about it. And they'll probably ask you, okay, why did you leave that job? Or what happened here? The key here is whenever you're asked this question, whether it was a short stint or a long stint, whenever, you need to avoid negativity. Again, it does not help you to say anything negative, no matter how true, about a former employer. So you want to keep it positive. Make it all about growth. You left this opportunity because there was something enticing about the other opportunity. The next awkward question is, why should we hire you? It's kind of like an in-your-face question. Like, if you think about it, it's a bit brash to just ask someone, hey, why should we hire you? Why should you work here? Whenever you hear this question, though, here's what I want you to do moving forward. I want you to hear, why should we hire you instead of the other candidates? Because what you're really trying to do here is you're trying to do 2 things. 1, establish that you are qualified for the role, and 2, talk about your unique advantage. So what is it that you possess that a person typically in your career, in your role doesn't have, right? Maybe you are bilingual. Maybe you have an advanced degree or certification that gives you extra information. Maybe you have a diverse background in which you've experienced multiple different industries that allows you to be more effective in this one. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you include that. So when they say, why should we hire you? It's why should we hire you instead of everybody else? You need to start with the foundation of why you are qualified for this role, how you've been effective in similar roles, and then finish with what makes you unique. What is your unique advantage? The next question that is pretty awkward, and it's actually a pretty popular question, is tell me about a time where you didn't live up to your own expectations. Now, this became popular because there was an article that came out in which Dan Price, he's that CEO who paid everybody in his company $70K. He says it's his favorite question to ask in the interview. And I think a whole bunch of recruiters and TA people got a hold of this article and started asking it. The key to answering a question like this is you need to be authentic here. I think this is almost a free pass to be vulnerable about a time where you did not do a good job at something, but it's important that you have learned from it. So whatever it is, you need to show that you learned from it, and it can't be something that's like too problematic, right? A time you lived up to your own or you didn't live up to your own expectations couldn't be the time your boss gave you a bad review and you punched him in the face, right? Yeah, that wouldn't be living up to your expectations. It would also be wildly inappropriate, and it would make you virtually not hireable in an interview. But it needs to be something where you made a mistake in which you know you were capable of better and that you learn from it. Another rule I like to use here is first 50%. And first 50% means whenever someone asks you a question like, when did you fail? Tell me about a time where you didn't get it done. Tell me about a time you didn't live up to your own expectations. You want to use an example from the first 50% of your career. That way you put some distance between when it happened and right now. Also, behavioral interview question. Anytime someone says to you, tell me about a time when, you're being asked a behavioral interview question, use a STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Use that as a framework to walk them through to make sure you are giving them all the necessary details and you're satisfying the question. You also want to make sure you don't go too long. This shouldn't be longer than 2 minutes. But if you can do that, you'll do great. Speaking of awkward, it can be really awkward if you say the wrong thing to your recruiter. That's why I made this video here. This video here is things you should never tell your recruiter. I've been in recruitment for 15 years, and trust me, you never want to say any of these things.